Okay, we're running. Okay, so blues scale and whole notes, and this is B flat concert blues scale. So ready, whole notes, 1, 2, whole notes, go. Second note, third note, fourth note, also in whole notes, right? So whole notes, 1, second note of this blues scale, 1, 2, whole note, go. And now can we add the 4 of each? So we'll play the uneven swing the rhythm, right? 4, 4, 4. 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1, 2. Second note, go. And now can we do the whole blues scale in that rhythm, right? 4 of each. Uneven, swinging those, right? 1, 1, 1, 1, ready, go. So why are we playing them uneven like that? Why do we swing the eighth notes?
I don't want to know a thing.
Exactly right, but why do we want to play like that?
Because that sounds like jazz.
Ah, so good answer. That's a good answer too. So if we want it to sound jazzy, we don't play even eighth notes. If we play them even, that doesn't sound very jazzy, right? So we want to swing them, we want to play them uneven, right? So what we're talking about is, what we're trying to do is develop our skills to improvise. So what does it mean to improvise? Somebody?
Make something up.
Make it up? Okay.
Make it up as you go.
Change.
Or,
Okay, good. So all those are right. So you're going to make it up, you're going to do it as you're playing, and you're going to modify, is that what you're saying? Yeah, excellent. Yeah. And what's the other word we've used for that? In the Mozart piece in the book. Remember that? Variations?
Oh yeah, variation.
Okay, so we take the original melody and we vary it. We do some things to change it. So, Gary, one of the things we were talking about is changing the rhythm, right? So if we just played eighth notes, it would be all even and it doesn't sound very jazzy. So if we want to make it more jazzy, then we play them uneven, and we call those like swinging the eighth notes, right? So play a dotted eighth and 16th. So that's what we were just doing in the blues scale. Can we do that one more time with just 2, 3, 4? The second note of the blues scale, and we're swinging those eighth notes, right? 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1, 2, second note, go. Third, 4. So that's swinging the eighth notes, right? And that's what we were doing all the time when we're making up solos, when we're improvising. So that's the idea, is that we're trying to do this so that we can all solo, right? And so everybody can have the skills to solo and make it sound pretty good, pretty jazzy. And that's what we're doing in that section of Rock of Gibraltar, right? So we're adding those solos. So how else, any volunteers, how else do we create this solo? So one of the things we're going to do is change the rhythm, right? So whatever we see here, we're going to make it a little more interesting, try to swing it.
Probably change, like, kind of move around the notes.
Okay, move around the notes. And so that's why we're using the blues scale, right? So we can sort of pick which notes do we want to use, right? Okay?
Change the beat of it, like you can make it more fast or slower.
Absolutely. So are we talking about the rhythm then? Yeah. So we're going to change the rhythm, and we use those uneven rhythms because they sound jazzy, right? Good, yeah, so we can change dynamics. Anything we can do to vary what's written on the page is a way of improvising, right? Yes? Here? Do you-
I don't know.
Okay. All right, so let's start Rock of Gibraltar. And we know the order that we're soloing, which is Lauren, Nate, Donovan, Parker, right? Here we go. Beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beginning. Go. solo by yourself right now?
Nope. I don't care.
You want to do it?
I need like the background.
Because what I'd like, let's have Donnie do it. Donnie's ready.
What?
To just do your solo.
For fun?
Yeah, actually, we just want, just so we can all hear every single note. Okay, so here we go.
Can we make it dramatic?
Yes. Yep. You have the freedom to create. Here we go. 1, 2, 29. Excellent. Okay. So what do we hear? We heard him using the blues scale almost solely, right? And we heard him creating any rhythm he wanted to. And so he's generally doing them uneven, and he's generally kind of going up and down the blues scale. And so that's a pretty normal way to create a solo. And that's what most of you are doing, right? What I'm most excited about is the way most of you create rhythms. And so Lauren especially is creating these really intricate rhythms and playing 4, 5, 6 notes at a time, very uneven, right? And so that's what we hear in the rhythm, in your practice to improvise, is you trying to create the most interesting rhythms you can, right? If we just played up and down the blues scale, da 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 da, that's not much of a solo, right? But if you go da 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 da, that's a little more interesting. And then what you're doing is even more interesting than that. So you all are way ahead of, you know, sort of the beginning improvisers. Let's also work on Now's the Time just a little bit. Now, Rock of Gibraltar is not really a jazz song. It's kind of a blues arrangement. But Now's the Time, obviously, is a real jazz song. It's 50 years old, and this has been around forever, and lots of jazz groups still play it. It's more than 50 years old. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and. Lots of syncopation, right? And the syncopation is what makes it sound so interesting and makes it sound so jazzy. This is actually a style of jazz called bebop. And so bebop was meant to be, in fact, the name bebop came from the idea that saying bebop is syncopated, right? And so if we played da 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 da, it wouldn't sound interesting at all. But we play da 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 da, right? Because we're swinging everything, and almost everything is syncopated. Do we have some soloists who want to work on do this one? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not yet. Yeah, we will. 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay, so Catherine, yeah. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. Let me finish getting this on tape. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and. That's everybody. Yep. So just to review, as we think about improvising, we're thinking about varying the melody, right? We're going to use the melody, but we're going to change it. We're going to and try to make big changes, right? So very often in the middle of a really professional jazz solo, it's so far away from the original melody you can hardly even recognize it. And then eventually the musician will